How's it going, everybody? My name is RndmBlkGuy, and today on Tech Taylor, we're going to be going over how to find a smart bulb that fits you. I decided to make this video because after trying to find a smart bulb for me, I see just how deep the rabbit hole goes. There are so many different bulbs now from all different range of possibilities with them. It's hard to tell which ones are good, which ones do what you want, and which ones will not give you a headache in the long run. So in this video, I decided to list out a few features that I think are very important for you to be looking out for when you decide on picking these bulbs for yourselves. Now, to help illustrate my point, I'm going to be going over all these features with the bulbs that I was able to test myself. And those bulbs will be the Texan Music bulb, the Lyft bulb, the TP-Link Wi-Fi bulb, the Philips Hue set, and the Lumi light bulb. The first and most important thing that you should be asking yourself, or what feature you should be looking for, is whether or not you want color and white bulbs. The reason is because thinking about replacing all the lights in your house might sound cool, but can get very expensive if you're thinking about changing all of them to color bulbs. Color bulbs are really expensive, and on contrast, the white bulbs are really cheap. So there's a real margin of going with the color route and trying to paint your house all colors of the rainbow versus just trying to have that nice warm or even dim out the lights feature. So you really need to ask yourself if you want to have certain rooms just white bulbs, or you want, color ones in case you want to do something fancy and stuff, or you think it's just better to go with the color ones. I really don't have a strong recommendation besides the color bulbs will also do the white features. So getting the color bulbs will at least be like getting the two bulbs in one. But there are just some rooms, maybe like the kitchen, where you really don't want to have a colored bulb. So that's just something I will say consider and have in mind. The second feature that you really need to look for when you're looking at these bulbs is, can the bulbs talk to other bulbs? To make this easier, I'm going to say this as the ecosystem. The bulbs should be able to talk to each other, but not every smart bulb out there does that. A lot of them have features that they only work on, like the Texan light bulb that has the Bluetooth connectivity and can do all the color ranges, but you can't synchronize the color with another bulb because there's no way for them to talk to. They don't connect Wi-Fi or pair with each other. However, there are a lot of other bulbs that do pair with each other and can lead to cool effects. With that, I'm going to be getting over to my next point. My third point is trying to find bulbs that have either the app or the hub. And the reason why you want to look at this feature probably as one of the strong features is because this is pretty much why you would want to get a smart bulb. The app itself allows you to be able to control the bulbs, be able to group the bulbs into different rooms so that way you can separate them and categorize the bulbs to maybe like living room or kitchen. And it allows you to use the color ranges if you're going to go with the color bulbs to be able to play around with the hue of colors. You can't do that normally if, let's say, you call out the color names or everything, because you can't say like fuchsia pink and it knows what you're talking about. But you can set the colors in the app itself and even have that as a preset, and that presets can be saved onto the hub. The hub itself is like the discovery kit. It helps best locate all the different bulbs that are connected to it and unlocks more functionalities that the bulbs can do. So you can also, for some cases, have the scenes actually kind of saved onto the hub, and with that hub, if you decide to take it somewhere else, the hub will have all the information on it. Plus, the hub allows for other devices such as thermostats, smart plugs, and other different types of lights to be able to be connected together. And it also helps your bulbs be searched or be found by other applications that can't control them, which is very important for some of these other smart applications. The fourth feature that I want to mention is that some of these bulbs are also different sizes, and some of these smart bulbs have varieties to them. Not the bulbs themselves, but of course the actual brand, the ecosystem. Just like the Philips Hue, which has the RGB strips, that has the Hue Go Bloom, and a lot of different types of bulbs that can change the ambience of the room that you're trying, or help with the effects that you're trying to go for. And of course, if they have the ecosystem, that means that you can have those effects be able to work out with them correctly. And with other light bulbs, you also have the features of connecting them to the thermostats, to the smart plugs and everything. Like I said with the hub, some of these other smart bulb brands have those other kind of devices with them, so that way that they all not only work within the app and the hub as well, but they have a better chance of using all their features when they're working together. So if you're trying to go with one particular brand, you want to make sure like you just set for life, you might want to consider a smart brand or smart bulb brand that has more options for you to basically stretch out your investment. At the end of the day, this is going to be an investment because you're going to be saving some power with these bulbs. These bulbs are going to last a while, so you want to actually have other stuff that you can go with it. That's kind of the more simple way of saying it. Now, the last thing I want to mention, and the last feature that I think is very important, and it's something that is a make or break for me, is that these bulbs have to be able to talk to the smart AIs. To me, that is such a big thing with the Echo Dot out, the Google Home, and even the Cortana speaker. You need to be able to have this integration. This helps being able to control the light bulbs without having to necessarily open up your app, go or turn on your phone, open up the app, and go literally push every light bulb by itself. If you had to do that every day, you'll just go crazy and end up just using the switches anyway, which might accidentally reset the bulbs, and you have to do all this. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong with it. And so being able to just say, you know, Alexa, turn off the living room lights.
Okay.
And it turns off the living room lights. That's just so easy to do, and it just gives that, better real technology feeling. Also, with some of these, Alexa can connect to I won't say all the bulbs, but they can connect to a lot of different bulbs. And so let's say if you did get some Philips Hue light bulbs, and you got some Lift light bulbs, you got some TP light bulbs, and they all have the Alexa skill, they will be able to all talk and be used together. So if you have the 3 bulbs in the living room and you say, I want to change the living room green, it'll just change all those bulbs green regardless of the brand. And I think that is probably a good thing, because you can save a few dollars if, let's say, you like the Philips Hue ecosystem and stuff, but $50 per bulb is just pretty expensive. Then you can look at like a lot of the other bulbs that might be cheaper, they give the same functionality, and still be able to color your house around, but while still having maybe like the hub in order to do more crazy things with the scenes. Also, another thing with the Alexa skills, you also have the ability to do routines, which is basically giving custom commands to be able to activate the scenes. And of course, scenes are basically kind of like the lighting effects. So like if you want the aurora lights, like a mix of blue and green, you will say, put the aurora light scene, and it will change the colors to look like that. And with the routines, you could be all like, Alexa, can you change the lights to be a volcano or something, or Alexa, activate game room, or Alexa, it's movie time.
I'm having trouble understanding.
Yeah, sorry about that. If you can say a lot of those different things, and it'll just do it. It'll just work, and it's pretty cool. Once you get and play with it around yourself, you'll realize it's geeky, but it's that cool kind of geeky. Now that we've gone through a lot of the features that I feel like you should be looking for when you're looking at these smart bulbs, and now it comes to the points of which features are you okay living without. I know that sounds weird. I didn't like it sound like I was going with that, but there are some features that you maybe not want, And by giving up those features, you're just going to turn into dollar save by getting bulbs that might be able to do the particular things correctly. Or there are just some bulbs that it's okay to use it for that idea, and you don't really want to pay that much. To get into this, I want to now go over a lot of the different bulbs that I was able to test and kind of explain the practicalities and the issues that I had with them, and maybe that will give you an idea of the different type of bulbs and what some things you can and cannot do with them. The first bulb that I want to go over, and it was the cheapest one, is the Texan Music bulb. Now the Texan Music bulb cost me around $11.99 at the time, so that's pretty good. $12 for a bulb that can change color. It's even a really good speaker. You can connect to it with any device with Bluetooth and be able to play it out. And you don't need to have the Bluetooth option to control it because the bulb uses a LED remote control. It's like one of those really common ones that you see with it. You just hit the colors and you can even hit like fade and do some all cool stuff. It's all presets in a little bit controller. However, that bulb itself doesn't have the ecosystem I was talking about. So if you were to get two music bulbs, you couldn't Bluetooth to both of them unless your device had Bluetooth 5.0. And they don't talk to each other, so you can't just Bluetooth the one and then it sends that to the other one, and then you have like a stereo speaker kind of thing, which would be cool if it was able to do that. But I guess for $12 that might be asking a little bit much. Still, a bulb like that is probably good for the office, where you can put it in a lamp and while you're doing some work you can have the music kind of go on and all the other kind of stuff. I feel like that's where it shines, or where it doesn't have to have the ecosystem. It's like it's the star of the show kind of deal. Now this next bulb is I have a lot of bad experience with, because I feel like the bulb itself was a little bit more expensive than it needs to be. And I'm actually glad I didn't have to buy this bulb. I actually borrowed it from a friend of mine, but I was so frustrated with this bulb that I wish I could have returned it to the store for him and help him get his money back. The RndmBlkGuy is another Bluetooth bulb. However, even though it's color, even though it comes out at a decent price between the 40 and 50 bucks, like a lot of the other bulbs start up pretty higher, it has to have the Bluetooth on the device that connect to it all the time, or else you just can't use it. There aren't any other way to control it but the app, and the problems that I had with it, I have not been able to connect to it sometimes. And even though it has a skill for the Echo, the Echo couldn't find the device at all. So when I try to call out for it, it doesn't work with the home setup, so you can't actually use that one with the other bulbs in sync with. You have to activate it like if you're doing the trivia games for the Echo, if you all have done that before, played little games with the Echo. So it was a lot of bad problems on it, but that bulb itself is also a decent colored bulb. It has nice colors with it, so there are some good points to it. But a bulb like that, it hurts. And again, I haven't seen too much control be able to work it with other bulbs, only because a lot of times that bulb itself just kind of failed on me. Now the next bulb I want to talk about is the TP-Links. The TP-Links are more that mid-range kind of style brand, because they actually come in at a fair price of $36 for the color bulb and between $15 to $20 for the white bulbs, depending on where you look. They are actually Wi-Fi bulbs, and they don't need to have the hub to be able to talk to each other. They all talk through the app, and the app can actually control all the different TP smart devices to it. So you can do all the scenes and everything through the app. So for a decent light bulb, it actually does decent color. It works out really fast on command when it comes to the Echo. The only thing that really holds it back is I noticed with the color bulbs, trying to actually change the different colors on the app, the bulb has a hard time responding to that, which was kind of weird. Like when I call it out through the Echo, it's the first bulb that always changes color compared to the rest, but with his own app it seems to be a little bit honky, and sometimes it took a while to figure out how to really change the colors to be just more than red, green, and blue, and find out the color wheel itself, because the app isn't really as intuitive as I would like it to be. The Lift light bulbs were probably my favorite, because the colors that they put out are so vibrant. They're also Wi-Fi bulbs. They don't need the hub, and everything can be done through the app, and the app is actually not that bad. It can also do scenes in the app. It can also do a lot of the other features, and they also have an option to buy a bulb with the infrared lights in it to help infrared cameras be able to see in the dark better, which is a little bit of feature, but that one will cost you more. In fact, the only thing that really holds the lift light bulbs back is that they're the most expensive ones that I had to mess around with, starting at $50 and going all the way up to $80. And $50 was technically on sale. They're normally $60 for the color bulbs, and they don't have a white bulb option. They have a mini option that has less lumens than the main one, but I feel like it is really kind of not where you want to go if you're going to be going with the small one, because then you're kind of losing that vibrant color benefit. Now the last one you probably have heard already if you've been looking at smart bulbs, but of course it's the Philips Hue. Now with the Philips Hue, this one's probably the one that we suggested to you personally the most, and it'll be the one that it will be the first one that comes out of everybody's mouth. You probably should just go with Philips Hue. Then the reasons why I feel like a lot of people say this: A, the Philips Hue has the most polished app. Using the app is a lot easier to deal with. Setting up scenes, setting up, having presets to download, and everything else is really easy. Plus, Philips has an API that other coders and programmers can use to make their own apps to give even cool effects. On my phone, I got about like 4 different apps that can actually do like a disco scene, or a crazy light effect scene to work with the Philips app. So even using different apps is also a feature that really resides in Philips Hue. Philips Hue is kind of like the Apple of these other smart bulb products, that they have a lot of stuff that works with them. And if you just dive into Philips Hue around, you'll actually have a good investment coming back, but you are going to pay for it. The bad thing about the Philips Hue is you have to have the hub. The bulbs cannot work without the hub. If the hub's gone, then if you try to use the app to control them, it will just lose them. It won't be able to find them. If you try to use Alexa with it, it won't be able to call out to those bulbs unless you get the Alexa that has the hub in it, the Echo Plus. But I tend to not really say anybody get that one, because that hub doesn't give you all the benefits and unlocks a lot of the functionality that those bulbs can do. So it just makes more sense to just buy the hub. So buying the starter kit for the Philips Hue should be the first thing you ever do, is not buy the bulb singly. The Philips Hue also has the most different types of bulbs that you can get for a light fixture. You can get the LGB strips I said at the beginning. You can get which is supposed to be the Bloom and the Go, which are the more portable options, but shine a little bit brighter going out. You can get actually the ones for the really small light bulbs, the E12s that go into the ceiling fans. Sometimes they have the color light bulb for that, and the white ones if you want to just do the white and warm kind of feeling. As well as you can even replace the whole top light feature with its own. But again, you're going to be paying a little bit more to be able to have that privilege to kind of completely change your whole outfit. But I've known people to completely do that and be satisfied with it. Like I said in the beginning, there are a lot of bulbs that are out there that have their own smart hubs and everything, that it's just hard to really pick from them. They all do so many different things. They all fulfill so many different wishes you want out of it. I wanted to do this video and get it out to y'all a little bit earlier, but it actually took me a while to actually really sit down, play with these, and troubleshoot a lot of the bulbs to make sure that there weren't anything that was missing or anything else that I was just kind of glossing over and didn't notice that it was actually a flaw or a fault. With that being said, hopefully the features that I kind of go for helps you filter those out. You should be looking at the different effects of what you want in your own home. The bulbs are supposed to be an investment. They're supposed to benefit your life in some way. Now you just need to decide which way you want them to benefit. Again, no matter how good a piece of technology is, if that piece of technology does not provide you any value, then it's essentially worthless. And you should be looking at when it comes to these bulbs in that same kind of scope lens. Everybody, thanks for watching the video. If this video really did help you, please hit the like button and share it with your friends and get subscribed. I'm also looking for feedback on any of the videos that I've done and my delivery of the content, and I would appreciate any that you can give. Also in the comments below, please let me know what type of products that you would like me to look at and to see if I can find a way why that product would be a good fit for you, or if you're having trouble trying to find a product out of all the options out there, let me know so I can make videos based on the stuff that you want. With that being said, hopefully everything that you saw today will help you make a better, more informed decision tomorrow.